Today I'm going to cover 10 date ideas you can do with your partner at home starting this week. Welcome to the Dr. Wyatt Show. I'm your host, Dr. Wyatt Fisher, a licensed psychologist specializing in couples counseling. Be sure to email me your questions. Anything you want me to cover on the show related to marriage, relationships, you can email me your questions at info@drwyattfisher.com, and I'll be sure to address your questions on future episodes. So today we're talking about dating. Why is dating important? Let's first establish that. It's important because this is what brought you together. Dating is what made you fall in love with your partner, and so many couples stop dating after they're married. And that's unfortunate because the very behaviors you did that made you fall in love are the very behaviors you need to keep doing to stay in love. It sounds like common sense, but a lot of us stop dating our partner because we get busy, we get distracted, we get consumed with kids, career, mortgage, 401ks, you name it. And before long, we don't know our partner anymore. We don't have fun with our partner anymore. We feel bored in the relationship, and it turns into siblings or it turns into business partners with your partner. And that's what we don't want. You want to feel excited with your partner. You want to feel some electricity with your partner. You want to feel some romance with your partner. And that's usually not going to happen unless you're having regular date nights. Now, having regular date nights doesn't have to be complicated, doesn't have to be expensive. And so today I'm going to talk about at-home date nights that you can start having with your partner that are affordable, that are manageable, and that you can start implementing this week. Now, overall, there's one thing I want to cover. I often recommend doing 4 things per date. These 4 things include emotional intimacy, because that's going to help you and your partner feel connected, a lot of affection, because often there's not enough of that in relationships, something fun, and that's often something recreational you can do with your partner, and number 4, some kind of sensual activity. Sensual does not mean sexual, but sensual activity like cuddling or a massage or a bath may lead to something sexual. Now, if you're only doing 2 of those 4 activities or 1 of those 4 or 3 of those 4, often one partner will walk away saying, that was a great date. And the other one will walk away saying, that was kind of boring. That kind of sucked. So if you cover all 4 of those elements per date, you're going to maximize the chances of it being a good, fulfilling date for both partners. So let's get into some ideas. So idea number 1 for at-home date night. Number 1 is games. Games are a great thing to do with your partner. Maybe you like games, maybe you don't. But games are a wonderful thing you can do for a date at home. So think about the variety of games you can do. You can do board games, you can do card games, you could do ping pong, you could do darts, anything that's enjoyable for you and your partner. My wife and I like to play card games, so we'll play gin rummy, or we'll play progressive rummy, or canasta, or Tripoli. We also have a ping pong table. We also have a dart board. So you want to have these options at home because they're a great way to have a date night at home. The other advantage of having date nights at home is you don't have to have a babysitter. And again, you don't want dates to be complicated. You don't want dates to be expensive because if they are, you're not going to do them very often. And I recommend having at least 1 date a week that's around 3 to 4 hours long. If you can't do that, try to have 2 mini dates a week that are about 1 to 2 hours long. But dates need to be a regular part of your weekly schedule. The other advantage of doing a date night at home, because you don't need a babysitter, is you can do it when the kids are asleep. So maybe 1 night a week, you put your kids down to bed early if you have young kids, and then you and your partner have a date together. Or if you have older kids, maybe they can watch a movie or something on their own, and then you and your partner can have a date. But at-home dates are a great affordable way to keep the electricity going in your relationship. A second idea is cook together. Maybe you could watch an online cooking course or look up a recipe and make something with your partner that you would enjoy eating, you and your partner. This could be part of the date. You make something that's going to be fun to eat together. That's a bonding experience. Breaking bread with anybody is a bonding experience, and so you can integrate that into your date. Cook something together. My wife and I both like to eat. We're both food junkies, and so that's something that we've enjoyed together is learning to cook new recipes together. We divide our cooking throughout the week. I make meals half the week. She makes dinners the other half of the week. But to make something together It's a bonding experience because you're sharing in the cooking together. One person might be making one part of the meal while the other person's making another part of the meal, or maybe it's just something you're both making together like a dessert or a main entree. But cooking together can be very bonding. A third idea is a virtual tour. Maybe you've done these, maybe you haven't, but there's a lot of virtual tours available where you and your partner can watch something online as if you're there. So my wife and I did this about a year ago. We did a virtual tour of Rome. And it's really awesome because you can pick any city in the world, just Google virtual city tours, and then it's as if you're there. You can actually walk through and navigate where you want to see and what you want to do and what you want to look at in the city. And then it feels like you're there. It's a simulation as if you're there. So if you and your partner like to travel and you haven't been to certain places, or you want to check out certain places to see if you want to go there in the future, a virtual tour is a great way to do that. Number 4 is an online dance lesson. If you and your partner like to dance, learn how to dance together from home, doing an at-home date night. There's so many online virtual dance lessons you can learn. You can learn salsa. You can learn square dancing. You can learn the waltz. You just have to watch some YouTube videos, and then you and your partner can practice the steps. You can implement it right there at home, free of charge, and it can be a lot of fun. And try to pick a dance that would be fun for both of you. One type of dance my wife and I have actually gotten into through the years, and we haven't been for a while, is contra dancing. And it's this type of dancing they did in the medieval times to banjos and guitars, and it's really fun. It's like a line dance that you do through this line with other couples. Now that's something you could also learn at home because there's a lot of steps, a lot of motion, a lot of movements that you have to learn before you can actually go somewhere and do the contra dancing in a big line. So that's another idea. You could do that from home. So that's something my wife and I have done a lot in the past is contra dancing, and it's a lot of fun. Number 5 is a movie night. Now, when it comes to screens, when it comes to doing something passive like a movie, it's okay to do that once in a while for your date nights, but you don't want to be doing it every date night. And that's the rut we get into. It's finally our date night, but we're kind of tired from the week, we're exhausted, so we just put on a movie. And again, that's okay occasionally because everyone loves movies. They can be very entertaining. I'm a movie lover myself, but they're not interactive. So you want your movie nights as your at-home date nights to be the minority of your date nights, not the majority. And when you're trying to pick your movie, make sure you pick a movie you both like, something you both would enjoy. And if you don't do that approach, take turns with who gets to pick the movie so you each have a voice. But the main thing with movie night is do it the minority of time, not the majority of time. Number 6 is roast marshmallows outdoors. So if you don't have an at-home fire pit, get one. They're a wonderful way to enjoy your partner on a date night. You can go outdoors, get some wood, get some kindling, start that fire, roast some marshmallows. You can have some quality conversation over the fire. There's something about fire outdoors that's very romantic, and it's very soothing, and it's very bonding. I've always loved outside fire pits myself, and I finally built one last summer outdoors. I'm not very handy, and so I had to watch a YouTube video on how to build an outside fire pit about 50 times, and then I finally implemented it, and I impressed myself with how well it turned out. And so we use that fire pit quite a bit, and it's so enjoyable, especially in the spring months or the fall months. That's the best time to go outdoors and have a fire with your partner. Number 7 is stargazing. This is something we don't do very often, but especially if you do it in the spring, like May, April, May, if you live somewhere where it's not too cold yet, or again in the fall after the mosquitoes are killed off, it's a wonderful thing to do because it's very romantic. You can go outside, get a blanket, get some snacks, just lay out and enjoy nature. You can look up at the stars, you can count the stars, you can look at the constellations and try to identify them. And again, it's something unique, something we don't do very often with our partner, so it's a great idea for an at-home date night. Number 8 is play hide and go seek with your partner outdoors at night. When was the last time you played hide and go seek with your partner? Probably never. We used to do this with our kids when our kids were young, because we have 4 kids. And so when they were young, we'd play hide and go seek outdoors or indoors. But imagine doing it with your partner. It can be fun, it can be different, something to just add some variety to your relationship together. That's another at-home date night idea, is play hide and go seek. Number 9 is a sensual massage. So I talk a lot about the importance of sensual activity because sensual activity is a bridge between affection and sexual intimacy. Now, when you have sensual activity, it doesn't mean it's going to lead to something sexual, but it could. It's optimizing the chances. It's putting you and your partner into this space together that's romantic, it's sensual, and it allows you to bond together physically, emotionally, and relationally. So a sensual massage would mean that you dim the lights, maybe you have some nice music playing, maybe you have some light snacks, and then you get out something for the massage, like coconut oil, and then you take turns on who's going to be the giver of the massage, who's going to be the receiver of the massage. If you're the giver of the massage, experiment with different types of touch. So maybe firm massage, maybe light massage, maybe just gentle kisses, maybe tickles. Use different objects around you for the massage, like a feather, or you could use your elbows for the massage. Think creatively of what are the different ways you can touch your partner's skin, and then you can see what they enjoy and where they enjoy it. It's an experiment. You're going to learn about their body. If you're the receiver of the massage, make sure you're giving positive redirect with affirmation. So if your partner's rubbing you or massaging you in a way that doesn't feel good, redirect their touch to a way that does feel good, then affirm that touch so they know they're doing it the right way. So that's the 9th idea, is doing a sensual massage. Number 10 is a sensual bath. When was the last time you had a bath with your partner? Now, because this is sensual and not sexual, I recommend putting your bathing suits on, because that's a visual reminder that this is not sexual, it's sensual. And for a bath, same thing. You're going to practice giving your partner a sensual bath, rubbing their arms with the soap, rubbing their forearms, giving them a hand massage. Then you rub their backs, you rub their legs, their thighs, their calves, and then their feet. It's up to them if they want you to wash their hair, but you're literally washing their body. It's very romantic, very sensual. And the receiver, again, positive redirect with affirmation, and then take turns. So you're washing each other's bodies. At the end of these sensual activities, you can decide together if you want to move into sexual contact or if you just stop right there for the night. So those are 10 ideas to have at-home date nights. Number 1, games. Number 2, cook together. Number 3, a virtual tour. Number 4, an online dance lesson. Number 5, movie night. Number 6, roast marshmallows together outside in a fire pit. Number 7, stargazing. Number 8, play hide and go seek. Number 9, a sensual massage. And number 10, a sensual bath. Thank you for listening to the Dr. Wyatt Show. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it with one other person to pay it forward. And be sure to nurture your marriage with my ABCs. That stands for my app, Keep the Glow, KTG. Download it wherever you get your apps for better communication. B is my boot camp. That's where you'll receive live support from me every week and access to my best resources. And C is coaching. I have a team of master coaches trained to help you and your partner resolve your resentments. So to access the ABCs to nurture your marriage, check out the links in the description. And remember, your marriage is alive. So if you care for it and nurture it, it will grow. If you deprive it and neglect it, it will wilt and die. The choice is up to you.